good gym session. I ain't even lying. I hit fucking 80s for 3 on incline dumbbell press. Never hit that before. It was fucking crazy. That's amazing, man. Let's get to something that I was thinking about halfway through my workout. This is something that I've been thinking about lately. And that's about dwelling on the past. Like, just feeling like you could have done more in that moment if you knew what you knew now. But you didn't. So why dwell on it? Well, it's human nature. Well, I feel like it's human nature. I could be wrong. But it's human nature to second guess yourself once you've made the decision. Like, it feels like it's almost required for you to think and go, I could have done this better. I could have spent more time with this person. I should have spent more time with this person. I shouldn't have blown them off. But philosophy that's been like ruminating in my mind and helping a lot with those thoughts is what's in the past is in the past. All you can do is move forward. Can't change the past, just move forward. That means every mistake that you've made throughout your life, depending on how detrimental they are, how pivotal they are in your life, there's nothing you can do to change that decision that you made in the past. There's no point in ruminating over it. There's no point being mad over it anymore. You don't have that choice anymore because you don't have a time machine, and the only thing you can do is keep moving forward. That's all you can do at that point. But the thing is, even though how many times you keep saying, I would have done something different over and over, would you really have? Like, if you had that choice right now, like you were put exactly in that position of that exact moment with the knowledge you have now, would you make a different decision? If you say yes, then you still have not come to, what's the word? You haven't come to peace with your decision. You haven't come to peace with what that decision has, what that outcome has become. If you say no, then you have. It depends on what decision that was and how impactful that was in your life. But since you don't have a time machine and you can't change the past, the only thing you can do is keep moving forward. And since this is a gym channel, and I feel like just a documentary on how to get big in my personal life and how to get big in general, personally, that includes mental growth in my thought process, and that's what I've been going through the most, is mental growth. Yeah, I know a lot of people will say, well, why does it matter if you're having mental growth? If all your goal is to get big, is because that's a mindset change. Because if your goal is to get big, you can focus on getting big as much as you want. But are you willing to sacrifice everything for it just to get an ounce bigger than what you're already going to get. What I'm not telling you is to say fuck it and not train. What I'm telling you is, what are you willing to give up and what are you willing not to? Because I realized what I was willing to give up, and I don't really like what I gave up to make this journey. Because for me, I get so focused on one singular thing that everything around me does not exist until I get to the point of where I'm at a sticking point, where I realize what I've cut out and what I haven't. And what I've realized is there's more to being big than just being physically big. Like, you can be the smallest person in the room and still have a presence of a giant because of confidence. And you can be a giant and be the smallest person in the room because of confidence. That is something I didn't realize until very recently. That is something I realized I've lacked, is confidence. I'm still lacking it, but realizing that is the step forward for me. And confidence will come from training and just being competent in the things you speak about and the things you genuinely enjoy. Like, trust, like, what I'm saying is, you can be confident in a subject that you have a ton of knowledge in and be very not confident in a room with people who know nothing about it. Let's use Magic the Gathering, because it's a fun-ass card game. Anybody who says otherwise, fuck you. That's my personal opinion. Anyways, I could walk into a room with a ton of people who've never played Magic, and I have nothing in common with them. But I will find someone who has a slight interest, who's heard of the card game. And if you can convince them to talk to you, your confidence rises because you now found someone you have the ability to be yourself with. But if you can't find anyone in that room that you don't feel confident you can be yourself with, be yourself no matter what. Because pretending to be someone you're not is more detrimental to your mental health than being ostracized for being someone you are. Because if you're willing to change to fit in, you do not have an identity to anything. Because you're willing to put others first before you put yourself first. Now, does that mean you stand firm on things you believe in? Yes. Does that mean you stand firm on stuff that you should be lenient with and more flexible with? No. What I'm saying is you have to find a happy medium for yourself. That's why a lot of people who are in this mental health industry or in this whole guru industry talk about the alpha male and the beta male. Well, not the mental health education, but this fucking guru shit about alphas and betas. I don't care. That shit doesn't matter. That shit is also a social construct made by humans, seen by wolves, who started acting like the things they saw. Because wolf packs don't actually fucking act like that. You know, it's crazy. I can give you an example on why this does not goddamn matter. The alpha of a wolf pack is the father of all the wolves, or the mother of all the wolves. It's a family dynamic. And when a wolf pack finds another wolf pack, the reason there is a fight is because of a dominance issue. When you get into a family where you control the majority of the family, you have some of those rascal children that you deal with, and then you come into a different family and they're dealing with the same thing, but you're now seen as that rascal kid who doesn't want to listen to what the parent says or whatever. They want to put you in your place. Is this very simplified? Yes. But there is no such thing as an alpha, beta, or whatever, or an omega, whatever the fuck people want to talk about. It's just a family dynamic. That's all it is. There is no, I am the bigger, stronger male. No, it's, I'm your dad. That's all the fuck it is. Or I'm your older brother. That's all it is. Because it was the best way to survive. And the idea that people keep coming up with this bullshit assumption that this is how wolves interact is dumb. And the idea that humans have to interact by a hierarchy that doesn't actually give a fuck about you is dumb. Now, I don't care if you're gonna call it like whatever the fuck you want to call this, but it's a thing of think for yourself, not listen to some idiot who has a ton of money and can just buy people, because it's not how the world works for you. You can't buy their program and be immediately rich. That's how they got rich, was because of people willing to pay for their programs, because they were athletic and decently good looking. Like, they're not, you never hear about a person who is alright, like I would consider decent looking, and like you will hear about them, but they're not as popular. But that doesn't fucking matter, does it? Because a lot of things like they are talking about, you can solve with just being yourself and having a personality that isn't just as surface level as most of their thought processes. That doesn't fucking matter. But like, this is just like, this shit plays through my head because I've seen so many people like a dude named Clavicular who has an insecurity so bad that he's willing to get surgery, he's willing to take exogenous hormones to get a fairly mid physique, I'm not gonna lie to you, because, and then he's also willing to get limb lengthening surgery when he's already 6 foot. Like, the idea of not being happy with yourself to the point where you're willing to get surgeries is very sad to me. Because it's not just like I have body dysmorphia, like I feel small but I'm pretty decently big, or I'm small but I'm saying I'm massive. No, that has nothing to do with it. It has a lot to do with high amounts of insecurity. Because when you're so insecure that you're willing to get surgeries, you're willing to do all this stuff, I just see it as sad. Because that means you are so unhappy with who you are as a human being that attractive to the opposite sex. I'm forgetting what the word I'm looking for. Conventionally attractive to the opposite sex, or conventionally hot. You know what's crazy? A lot of people out there don't have great, like, they're not like conventionally attractive, but some people, their personalities are very attractive. Them in general are very attractive, but at a glance, they're okay. But that's the thing, it's like you have to realize that humans are so vast that no matter what, you're going to find someone for you. So stop worrying about the minor things and just step forward. Keep walking. You can only get knocked down so many damn times before you go, man, it's just another Tuesday. Get back the fuck up. Because that mentality will get you so many places in this world. The mentality of, well, I failed. Come on. We'll keep trying. You can't be